Welcome to the AC 24/7 Top Story Countdown. I'm Sonia Baghdadi. We'll guide you through the biggest headlines of the day. Our focus, advocating our rights, advocating health, and advocating Earth. Here's our pick for number 5.
Right now, respiratory virus levels are relatively low in the U.S. overall, but the CDC is forecasting this season will be similar to the last one, which saw hospitals fuller than at any other point in the pandemic and worse than pre-pandemic years.
Time to getting into the hospital and getting that life-saving care can be delayed, and that can cost lives.
At the peak of this respiratory virus season, CDC forecasts show there could be between 15 and 25 new weekly hospitalizations for every 100,000 people in the U.S. COVID-19 will probably account for half of those new hospitalizations, with flu and RSV combined accounting for the other half. To help prevent getting you or those around you sick, wash hands frequently, sanitize high-touch areas, and if you're not feeling well, stay home. If you have to go out, wear a mask and get tested, says Dr. Kristen England with Cleveland Clinic.
Not only for COVID, but also for influenza. Remember, we've got medications that we can use to treat both of these viruses if caught early.
Experts say everyone ages 6 months and older should get the updated COVID-19 vaccine and this season's flu shot, and the RSV vaccine is recommended for those who are most vulnerable for severe disease. England says now's the time to get those shots.
It takes 2 weeks for any of these vaccines to really become effective in our bodies. It doesn't happen overnight.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Tuesday marks 3 weeks since the U.S. has had a Speaker of the House following the historic ouster of Representative Kevin McCarthy.
We're going to have to figure out how to get our act together. I mean, big boys and big girls have got to quit making excuses, and we just got to go get it done.
Top House Republicans are pushing to elect a new Speaker Tuesday night, according to GOP sources involved with the discussions.
We had some great candidates in there, and we'll go from this current group down to our designee, and I hope it's a productive endeavor.
No legislation, like policy bills and government funding bills, can pass without a House Speaker, and if something isn't resolved by November 17th, the U.S. government could face a financial shutdown.
Now we need to get this done. I think people just want government to function, and this is dysfunctional.
The 118th Congress is the only Congress to remove a speaker and need multiple ballots more than once. And some Republicans say they've been getting an earful from their constituents.
They just can't believe that we're this bad.
I just got back in the district in Sarasota, Florida, and people are very worked up down there about that. They think all of us are incapable.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The United Auto Workers Union calls what happened Monday in Sterling Heights, Michigan, a surprise strike. 6,800 union workers moving from work at Stellantis to the picket line, in the latest move in a larger strike heading into week 6.
We just felt like it was time to turn it up. So today was this choice, and we'll see what tomorrow brings.
It's the second surprise move in as many weeks, the first against Ford October 11th. This one, the UAW says in a statement, comes as Stellantis has, quote, the worst proposal on the table, trailing Ford and General Motors on issues including wage progression, temporary worker pay, and cost of living adjustments. Stellantis responded with its own statement, saying it's outraged and that it had offered a new improved deal to the union last week with no counterproposal in return. A CNN poll conducted by SSRS earlier this month found Americans overwhelmingly side with union members in their strike against the major auto companies. There are now more than 40,000 UAW members on strike and thousands of additional Big Three layoffs. Anderson Economic Group estimates members on strike or those who've been laid off have lost nearly $500 million in wages.
We can stop this now.
Ford's executive chair said the strike was at a crossroads when he spoke publicly last week. This week, UAW's president says companies need to act to avoid more surprises.
Either come to the table and take care of your membership or get ready, because more's coming.
I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
Oil prices surged more than 2% shortly after the Israeli conflict first broke out, and while prices have leveled out, the Middle East conflict has the potential to disrupt global oil supply and push prices higher. Israel's military ramping up its aerial offensive against Hamas as the war enters its third week. And now, growing concerns of significant escalation in the region.
Well, we have seen some worrisome attacks, and we got to do what we got to do to protect our troops on the ground, particularly in Iraq and Syria.
While neither Israel nor Gaza is a significant oil supplier, concerns the conflict will broaden to other countries in the region are driving investor fears of a possible tightening on global oil supplies.
Especially if Iran gets involved. Iran is a major oil producer. And if they embargo oil or cut exports, that could weigh more heavily on oil prices.
Brent crude oil prices opened at above $91 Monday, the international oil benchmark. So far, the fluctuations have not impacted gas pumps.
A lot of the seasonality that's pushing prices down is really winning that tug of war, and that's helping to keep gasoline prices declining, even as oil prices have gone up.
Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy says cheaper winter gas blends combined with decreased demand are helping to keep prices low.
The national average now below $3.50 a gallon for the first time since July 5th. And by later this week, the national average could fall to its lowest level since March.
Now, experts agree we're still a long way from long lines at the pump or significant gas price increases. Gas prices in the U.S. have been falling steadily while production is up and demand is down. I'm Gloria Pasmino in New York.
Palestine will be free! Americans from many walks of life showing support for the people of Gaza. Meanwhile, it's largely just Jews at the very few demonstrations in support of the Israeli civilians who were tortured and slaughtered October 7th, and for the more than 200 taken hostage and still held by Hamas terrorists inside Gaza. Some Jews who marched, for example, for Black Lives Matter or the women of Iran, feel let down.
It's really, really, really upsetting to see that our people, to see people who we stand with, not stand with us.
Our humble ask is that people give a damn when we die.
That's Rabbi Sharon Brous in a now viral sermon.
It feels like a great sense of abandonment. People who we've been in the trenches working with for many years not only don't grieve when Jews are massacred, but actually celebrate. It's devastating.
She is a regular critic of the Israeli government and a peace advocate.
People feel like they're forced to have to choose between this or this, when in fact, what we have to do is find the moral imagination to dream of a different kind of future in which all people can live in justice.
In Brookhaven, Georgia, anti-Semitic flyers were passed out overnight Saturday. In San Diego, an Israeli cultural center closed indefinitely after being vandalized twice in 3 days.
It seems that a lot of feelings of anti-Semitic hatred have been dormant, mostly, until now.
In Los Angeles, a Jewish school says that after a game, our football team experienced a variety of anti-Semitic language and gestures, including the Nazi salute, mostly from the stands, although a couple of the opposing players were involved as well.
Having that history still so alive in our spirit and in recent memory, it does alert us to the hints of those kinds of major social currents in our own time.
From the river to the sea! In Skokie, Illinois, Sunday, a pro-Palestinian counter-protest sprung up near an Israeli solidarity rally. Someone pulled a gun, fired in the air. The governor is calling for calm in a state that has seen a rise in hate and real hurt for its Jewish and Arab citizens.
The Advocate channel is here to be a voice for underserved, underrepresented LGBTQ+ and BIPOC communities. Join the conversation, subscribe on YouTube and Facebook, download our Roku and Fire TV app. Take us with you. Get the Advocate channel app on your Apple or Android device. Thanks for watching. I'm Sonia Baghdadi.